Cyber Threat Brief for May 24, 2026. Multiple PHP package supply chain attacks hit Laravel and Composer ecosystems with cross-platform credential stealers targeting cloud keys, browser data, and crypto wallets. Anthropic's Claude Mythos AI finds 10,000-plus high-severity flaws in critical software. New NPM controls require 2FA approval before packages go live. Here's the full breakdown of today's top security stories. Daily Security Brief, 2026-0520. Next section, Critical Alerts. Laravel Lang package compromise attackers compromised for Laravel Lang localization packages, Laravel Lang/Lang, Laravel Lang/HTTP statuses, Laravel Lang/attributes, Laravel Lang/actions, by rewriting 700-plus GitHub version tags to point at malicious commits in attacker-controlled forks. The attack introduced a cross-platform credential stealer that executes automatically via Composer's autoload. Files mechanism. Malware harvests AWS keys, GitHub tokens, cloud credentials Azure/GCP. Kubernetes secrets, Vault tokens, CI/CD secrets, SSH keys, browser data from Chrome/Edge/Brave, cryptocurrency wallets, password managers, 1Password, Bitwarden, LastPass, and VPN configurations. On Windows, it deploys a separate executable that bypasses Chrome's app-bound encryption to extract saved credentials. Command and Control Server, FlipBikStudio.info. Action, check Composer lock files for Laravel Lang packages installed or updated May 22, 2026. Assume compromise if versions were pulled during this window. Rotate all credentials on affected systems. Cloud IAM keys, GitHub tokens, SSH keys, database passwords, and API secrets. Scan for connections to FlipBikStudio.info and check /tmp/ SSHD on Linux systems. Malicious versions have been removed from Packagist, but compromised systems need full credential rotation. Sources: Bleeping Computer, The Hacker News, Laravel. Packagist supply chain attack, second wave. 8 additional Composer packages were compromised with malicious code in package. JSON, not Composer. JSON, targeting projects that bundle JavaScript build tools alongside PHP. Attack adds a post-install script that downloads a Linux binary from github.com/perikprayesh4/systemd network helper 5C751F, saves it to /tmp/. SSHD, grants execute permissions, and runs it in the background. The malware disables TLS verification and suppresses errors to hide activity. Socket found the same payload referenced in 777 GitHub files, suggesting a broader campaign. Affected packages: Moritz-Sauer 13/Silverstripe CMS theme, CrocerSource/CrocerLibase, DevDojo/Wave, DevDojo/Genesis, Katanoi/Katana, EliteDevSquad/Sidecar Laravel, R2 Luna/Brain, Baskarcom/TZI-Chat-UI, all DevMaster/DevMain branches. Action, audit package. JSON files in PHP projects for unexpected post-install hooks. Check for /tmp/. SSHD files on Linux build servers. Block github.com/perikprayesh4/ at the firewall. The malicious versions have been removed from Packagist, but compromised systems need investigation. Sources: The Hacker News, Packagist. Next section, Business and Infrastructure Threats. Underminer CDN vulnerability, a domain fronting variant called Underminer, allows attackers to hide connections to malicious domains behind trusted domains on shared CDN infrastructure. The attack presents a trusted domain in SNI and HTTP host headers while forcing the request to a different tenant's IP on the same shared edge. This bypasses DNS monitoring and protective DNS filtering. Threat actors use it to hide command and control connections, VPN/proxy traffic, and circumvent egress policies. The vulnerability affects 88 million domains, primarily in US, UK, and Canadian internet infrastructure. Ada Networks warns AI-generated malware will increasingly exploit this technique. Action: correlate DNS decisions, edge IPs, SNI, host headers, and CDN tenant routing and monitoring tools. Inspect TLS connections on port 443 for SNI/host mismatches. Review egress policies to ensure they validate actual connection endpoints, not just DNS lookups. This is a detection gap in shared CDN architectures, not a patchable vulnerability. Source: Security Week. Next section, Patch Priority. Wolf SSL CVE 2026-5194. Critical CVSS, the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, 9.1, Certificate Forgery Vulnerability, allows attacker to masquerade as legitimate service, patch immediately. Laravel Lang packages, credential stealer delivered via compromised GitHub tags, rotate all credentials on affected systems. Composer packages, 8 affected. Linux binary dropper in package. JSON post-install hooks audit build servers. NPM packages enable staged publishing plus 2FA to prevent automated malicious releases. Next section, vulnerability disclosures. Wolf SSL certificate forgery. CVE 2026-5194. Anthropic's Project Glasswing found a critical vulnerability in Wolf SSL. CVE 2026-5194. CVSS 9.1. EPSS. The exploit prediction scoring system, 0.0/3rd percentile, that allows certificate forgery, enabling attackers to impersonate legitimate services. The flaw was discovered by Claude Mythos Preview, an AI model with autonomous vulnerability discovery capabilities. Project Glasswing has identified 10,000 plus high or critical severity vulnerabilities across 1,000 plus open source projects since launch, with 1,726 confirmed true positives and 1,094 assessed as high or critical severity. 97 findings have been patched and 88 advisories issued. Anthropic notes that AI-assisted vulnerability discovery is increasing patch volume across the industry, with Microsoft reporting larger monthly patch releases for the foreseeable future. Action: update Wolf SSL to the patched version immediately. The certificate forgery risk allows attacker-controlled services to appear legitimate to clients. EPSS score is low, 3rd percentile, but CVSS 9.1 reflects real impact if exploited. Source: The Hacker News. Next section, general security news. NPM adds staged publishing, plus 2FA requirement. GitHub rolled out staged publishing for NPM, requiring maintainers to pass a 2FA challenge before packages become publicly installable. The feature uploads pre-built tarballs to a staging queue where a human must explicitly approve them before release. This adds proof of presence to every publish, including CI/CD workflows using OIK Trusted Publishing. To use staged publishing, accounts must have publish access, 2FA enabled, and the package must already exist on NPM. New packages cannot be staged. Command npm stage publish requires npm CLI 11.15.0+. GitHub also added 3 new install source flags: allow file local paths/tarballs, allow remote HTTPS URLs, allow directory local directories, complementing the existing allow git flag. These changes respond to massive supply chain attacks from groups like Team PCP that have poisoned popular packages at scale. Source: The Hacker News. Italian authorities disrupt Cinemagole piracy network. Italy's Guardia di Finanza dismantled Cinemagole, a sophisticated piracy app that provided access to Netflix, Disney+, Spotify, Sky, and DAZN by stealing authentication codes from legitimate subscriptions every 3 minutes via virtual machines. The operation seized servers in France and Germany containing app source code. The system used fake identification to open legitimate subscriptions, then redistributed decryption codes to 70-plus resellers who sold annual access for €40, €130. Payments processed via cryptocurrency or foreign bank accounts. Cinemagole had superior quality because users streamed directly from legitimate platforms, not pirate streams and masked customer IP addresses. Authorities estimate €300 million in damages and have sent penalties of €154, 5,000 to the first 1,000 identified subscribers. Source: Bleeping Computer. UK water utility data breach victims report impact. Victims of the 2020 South Staff's water breach continue reporting feelings of violation and lost trust after 633,887 customer records were stolen and published on the dark web. Customers face ongoing scam emails following the breach. Source: Data breaches. Net. UK secures £355,880 confiscation order in motor insurance data theft. The UK Information Commissioner's Office secured a £355,880. 10 confiscation order against Rizwan Mantra, former Manchester motor insurance worker who unlawfully accessed personal information. This follows a previous suspended prison sentence. Source: Data breaches. Net. Rhode Island workers' compensation vendor breach affects 131,000. Rhode Island's Workers' Compensation Insurance Administrator disclosed a January breach affecting 131,000 residents, including 4,500 current and former state employees. This follows the separate RI Bridges/Deloitte breach that affected 730,000 plus residents, raising vendor security monitoring concerns. Source: Data breaches. Net. Next section, trends and context. The PHP/Composer ecosystem faces coordinated supply chain attacks using novel techniques. GitHub tag rewriting, Laravel Lang, and cross-ecosystem payload delivery via package, JSON and PHP packages. Both attacks deliver cross-platform credential stealers targeting cloud infrastructure, CI/CD systems, and cryptocurrency. The attacks show increasing sophistication in evading security reviews by modifying deployment mechanisms rather than source code. AI-assisted vulnerability discovery, Claude Mythos, GPT-5. 5Cyber is accelerating patch cycles and increasing vulnerability volumes across the industry. That concludes today's cyber threat brief. From Carolina Clear Tech. Stay patched, stay vigilant.